Hey there, here's the video for 1.1.3, and it's called How Does It Grow? And the main thought about it is called Describing and Extending Patterns. So that's what I want you guys to think about when we're going through this one, okay? So make sure that you take a second and pause this video and make sure to put this in your notebook, right? At least put your title in there, and then you should put the date. Since I don't know what day, since I don't know which day you're going to do this, I'm just going to say put your date in there, okay? So when we're talking about patterns and stuff like that, it's oftentimes math is used to describe patterns, and we'll start with simple patterns like these down here, but ultimately math can be used to describe patterns like pine cones and pop cans or water cans, I guess, nowadays, right? Carbonated water. And then we also have some flowers here. Sometimes you can have the pattern within the flower, right? Like the little brown parts on the inside, or maybe the petals. But then there's also the pattern that's formed by the field, too. So it's kind of a cool study to get into math and how it's used to describe certain things. But for now, we're going to move to a little bit more simpler process for us today. This is just a very quick example for us to think about figures and what those mean. I just took one here that had, you can see has figure 1. Figure 1 has 1 dot, that's there on the far left. Figure 2 has 4 dots. I feel like if I'm saying this, I should record this right. Let's get that down. That figure 1 has 1 dot. Figure 2 has 4 dots. If we take a look at figure 3, we could count them all, right? We could go 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9. But there is a more efficient way for us to calculate this stuff. And we could say this is a 3 by 3, right? And 3 by 3 is 9. When we look at figure 4, figure 4 is a 4 by 4, so that one is 16. If I go back to figure 2 is 2 by 2, and figure 1 is 1 by 1. 1 times 1 is 1, 2 times 2 is 4, 3 times 3 is 9, 4 times 4 is 16. So figure 5 must be a 5 by 5, right? A 5 by 5. And I don't even have to draw the dots, do I? I mean, I could. 1, 2, 4, 5, 1, 3. And I could fill in all of these dots, and that's fine to get all that stuff in there. But we ultimately want to be more efficient at this. We want to be able to figure this out without having to draw the dots, right? I mean, could you figure out what figure 10 is without having to draw it? Sure, it's a 10 by 10. I could pretend that there's all these dots in here, right? But ultimately, I know that I'm going to have 100 total, right? All right, now let's apply this to our assignment. So make sure that you record this one in your ebook. If you have to pause it, put in 1-15, and make sure that you copy this dot pattern down. On the left, we see figure 1. It's kind of, it's a square, and that square has 8, looks like, 8 dots. Figure 2 looks like it has 2 squares in there. It has the original 8 kind of from the other one, and then this, like, I don't know, this piece sticking on it, I guess you could say. And then we have figure 3. It has 3 of these boxes, okay? So let's let's talk more about these. How many dots then are in that figure 1, right? In figure 1, we just counted there were 8 of them. Kind of running out of room. I should have slid this whole thing down here. There, it gives me a little room. And figure 2, if we're counting that, it has, you can count all those dots on the very top. It has 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, and then 5 on the bottom. So 5 on top, 5 on the bottom. That's 10 plus 3 in the middle. So that's 13. And if I count the top dots, I have 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7. In the bottom, I also have 7, so that's 14. So the top is 14, bottom is 14, plus the 4 in the middle. That leaves me with 18. All right, so can I figure out my pattern? Figure 1, figure 2, figure 3? Boy. Look at that. 8 to 13 is plus 5. 13 to 18 is also plus 5. So I wonder what figure 4 would look like, right? So we could, like I said, we can look at this and we can say, I see that we have, for figure 4, if we're in figure, I should say this, in A, we are asked to draw figure 4 and figure 5, right? Well, we know it has 4 boxes, right? So we could draw those 4 boxes. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. There's one box. We'll add the other box onto it. And the next box, this is box 3. And then this one will be box 4, right? Now, I don't know how you see this, but I kind of see this in a one way. I see it like this. I see the top, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, with 9 in the bottom, so that's 18. And then I also see 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. So I have 18. 18 plus 5 is 23. So I have 23 dots. Now you might have seen it differently, and that's totally perfect here. What you may have seen is something like this. Right now, I choose a different color, a little more bold, I guess. You could have seen this original box like you see in figure 1. But figure 2 has something added to it. It has like a C, backwards C added to it, right? There's like figure 2 up above. And then figure 3 has a third box, and that one might be another C added on there. And then the fourth one has another C, right? So you could always say, hey, it's a box which has 8 of them plus, and if you look at each time, the green is 5, the black is 5, the yellow is 5. So the figure 5 one should be plus 5. That should be 28 dots. Let's find out. We got to create our 5 boxes. Sorry. So I'm going to start here. 1, 2, 3. There's my first box. And now let's add on 5 for the next box. Look at that. There's 2. And then 5 more for that box. There's 3 total boxes, right? And then let's do 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. That's 4 boxes. And last but not least, 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. Look at that. 5 different boxes for that one. All right, so we're breaking this down into a pattern, and we're figuring that one out, right? So now I'm not going to write anything for here. The responsibility is going to be on you. You need to write in here. I need you to describe the pattern. Describe the pattern. So for your letter B, pause this and write how you would describe your pattern. Did you see it with like these boxes and backwards C's? Maybe instead you saw it like, I'll just do figure 3 again. Figure 3. 1, 2, 3. Maybe you saw it as 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7. I think it's 7, 14. Make sure I did that right. With, whoops. Maybe you saw it with a top and a bottom. And then you saw the middle, right? That's figure 3. So you have top and the bottom. Here's our top, there's our bottom, and then we have the middle runs that are red, right? Maybe you describe your pattern. Pause and do that. Now also, if you finished writing that one for B, now for C, what I need you to do is to draw, or how many dots can you find in figure 10, right? What would that be? Well, I think you can figure that out because you know that figure 5 here has 28. Figure 4 is 23, right? And you can continue this, right? So figure 4 is 23. Whoops, figure 4. Let me change colors here so it's a little less confusing. And let's do figure 5. figure 6, and what do we got? Figure 4 had 23, figure 5 had 28, figure 6 is going to have 33, and what I'm going to have you do is I want you to finish so that you can figure out figure 10. So I'm not going to do it for you. You keep continuing until you get that figure 10. How many dots is that, right? When you're done, draw it. That's all for today. That's all you need to do for your at-home work. You do not have to do anything else, but I do want you to think about this. Just leave you with this thought. What's figure 30? What's figure 100? How can we do that without drawing? Right? How can you do that? Interesting. That's the thing we're going to talk about next week, Monday or Tuesday.